Here's Lily's lumbar spine. This is not moving. As Lily extends, she's extending from above my hand. We want thoracic extension, okay? Extending through the spine in the overhead press is great, so long as it's not from the lumbar spine. Hello, and welcome to our home where we're going to show you the half kneeling single arm shoulder press. Okay, so one thing to talk about here, first things foremost, this is the half kneeling position. I'm sure there are people who call it by a variety of names. That's totally cool. Whatever they want to call it works great. Here we call this the half kneeling position. If we say something is in the half kneeling position, ta-da! Here it is. One other thing to note here is the way we like to do it is we like to press with the opposite side of the leg that's up. Okay, so what this means is that when Lily's right leg is out in front, her left arm will be pressing. When Lily's left leg is out in front, her right arm will be pressing. What this does mean is that every set, you will have the amount of given reps with one arm and 1 foot forward, and then you will switch, other arm, other foot forward, and do the reps for that side, okay? What you will not do is do both arms without moving your leg. That is incorrect, okay? So one thing to talk about here is you don't have a lot of external stability. In fact, you have none besides the ground. What this does mean is that Lily is going to have to be super, super proactive about rooting through her foot. What that's going to be like is she's going to splay her toes out wide. She's going to press the pad at the base of her first toe and fifth toe and heel into the ground. She's going to do some foot tenting or short foot action to get that intrinsic foot musculature turned on and connected with the ground. And she's going to have some tension in her thigh and calf as well. She's not going to be like full max PR squatting to the ground. You do want some tension along with that other down leg as well. Why this is important is because the shoulder complex is not a very stable joint. Okay? In order for it to move as safely as possible while keeping the tension where you want it to, meaning the muscles you want it to be, and not on like the joints, tendons, and ligaments that you don't want it to be, it's super imperative that everything else is locked in, okay? You cannot shoot a cannon out of a canoe. You need to properly bolt that thing down if you want to unleash the full power of its force and potential. You got anything else to add before we go into it?
No.
Okay, so that being said, Willie, can you switch over a little bit to your right?
This way?
Yep. Okay. As we mentioned before, the side that is not the leg in front will be pressing. From here, okay, some things to talk about. Lily is going to be in a good spinal position. What that means is a nice neutral spinal position. She is not going to extend and shoot her hips forward to create stability. Okay, that's an extension compression strategy. We want to move the diaphragm down, expand the belly out, and bear down on top of that to create our stability.
Pulling the front of the hips up so that there's not that excessive curve in the low back.
Yeah. Not every exercise is going to be great for that cue, but on these exercises where we're going to be so prone to flare backwards, sometimes it is really important to think about pulling the suspenders up on your pants or almost doing a crunch down to really fight that flare that we're all going to want to do at the top. Okay? So dumbbell position, foot is in the ground, this is here. With this off arm, you can kind of make a fist and hold out to the side for tension. Some people like putting contact there. Other people will like putting it in here so they can feel the serratus and that oblique turn on. Really up to you. Wherever you feel the strongest and most stable is where you should put your arm.
This is my personal favorite. I love really not allowing myself to forget that these muscles should be a part of this process the entire time.
If you're really unable to feel your serratus turn on, kind of tapping yourself in here as you're pressing is a great cue. Your brain will respond so well to the tactile cue of your tapping that you may just fix your weakest links just with that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so gravity is exerting a force straight vertically into Lily's arm via the dumbbell. We want the forearm to be as vertical as possible. The more we get it over here and we have this acute angle, the more this is really just a half kneeling overhead tricep extension. If we really want this to be an exercise for the delt and the serratus with the tricep working as just a secondary or accessory muscle, this forearm has to stay vertical throughout the movement.
You ready?
Ready. Okay, so Lily's going to breathe in bracing. She has tension through her feet and through her upper body. Hands going to go wherever she wants. Here she's going to think about trying to pull that bicep to the ear. Okay? A lot of people will press out to here. If we think about pulling that bicep to the ear, we'll get really good at making sure we actually press up. Some people, if you're pressing out in front, your proprioception may just be totally out of whack. So for those people, one cue to try is think about pressing behind you, and you may end up vertical. One thing to know about yourself, Lily, can you turn either direction? Can you press kind of out in front of you? If you press there, and this is where you're stuck, and you can't get here, this is not a good exercise for you. If you can't get into the proper end position without the weight, then you shouldn't be loading it, okay? If that's you, go down to an incline dumbbell press or something like that, match the incline of the bench to the range of motion to your arm, and spend some other time doing the mobility stuff. If you have questions and want to know what to do, reach out to us. We'd love to help you and put you on a plan to get you set up for you. But one great thing to use for this is videotape. Videotape will fix the proprioception issues of your shoulder so fast. I cannot tell you, it doesn't matter how athletic you are, you probably don't have the proprioceptive skills that you think you do in your shoulder.
It's sort of funny. You think you're doing one thing and then you watch yourself and you're really not.
Let's just show a couple more reps on the side. The thing to notice is here is Lily's lumbar spine. This is not moving. As Lily extends, she's extending from above my hand. We want thoracic extension, okay? Extending through the spine in the overhead press is great, so long as it's not from the lumbar spine. How is Lily locking in this lumbar spine? That's where we're going back to that breathing and bracing we talked about before. Right there, before she pressed, you could hear her take that big inhale in. You could see the waistband of her pants get pushed out. You can watch her. If her hip starts to shift, she's going to shift those back underneath her right where she wants them before she presses. Then let me do one more rep after this. One thing you'll notice is that despite the fact that Lily's getting tired, she's not going to also do like a dip and push press. This is not a push press. That is a different exercise. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's different. Okay, get down here, own the whole range, and smoothly, confidently, and in control, press your way out of the bottom. Don't lurch out of the bottom.
There's an even amount of engagement throughout the whole process. So even on the down, I'm squeezing the shoulder blade down on the back as much as possible, and then I'm slowly using those same muscles to push back up. So I'm not using momentum to throw myself anywhere. Even if it means that you are doing this with 10 pounds, do it with great form. It's not about how much you're moving around, it's about how well you're doing it.
And I promise you, if you go from like 50 pounds down to 10 pounds, yeah, that's a big difference, and like I will not beat around the bush. It's gonna kind of be a little bit hard for your ego, but you'll be so fast back up to 50, like it'll be fun. Like your muscles are well conditioned, your brain will pick up on this fast. It's really not that big of a deal. Just go down for a couple weeks and just move on with your life afterwards. You'll be out of pain, you'll be right back to where you were, and your ceiling for your growth potential will just be astronomically higher.
That's what I was just about to say. And then you'll have shoulders that feel good for the rest of your life. Sounds like a pretty good deal to me.
And look good, because they'll actually grow where you want.
Enjoy.
Enjoy.